Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm doing another currently listening. So I think the last currently listening video that I did was back in May. I will link that video down below, but basically this video is just where I talk about music and podcasts that I'm currently listening to and just kind of want to share with you guys. So I do have a good amount of new music that I've been listening to, and then I do have 2 new podcasts that I've been listening to as well. So yeah, I will start with the music. I guess from May to now, like I kind of was still listening to whatever I listened to back in May. I actually don't really listen to a lot of new music, but I am a fan of 5 Seconds of Summer, and they have 2 new songs that came out, Easier and Teeth, and I love both of them. They're so catchy, they're so good. I am definitely into like this new sound, definitely quite a bit different from their last album, and I'm so excited to see what their new album is going to sound like. I have no idea when their new album is coming out, but I'm very excited for that because I've been loving these 2 new songs. I don't think I mentioned this in my last video. I don't think I talked about 5 Seconds of Summer in my last video, like in my last currently listening video, but I was never a huge 5 Sauce stan until like they came out with their album last year, Youngblood. I loved that album. It was amazing, and I'm definitely a fan of them now, and I can't wait to hear all of their new music because I love Easier, I love Teeth, really good songs. Both have very like similar vibes. I feel like they're definitely going to go in more of like an electronic way for the new album, but like I'm not mad about it. Yeah, I've been loving both of those songs. Banks came out with her new album 3 and I have been loving it. It is amazing. It's perfect. I didn't actually listen to her last album, which I think I talked about in my last currently listening video. I think I talked about Gimme, which was her first single for this new album, but the album came out. I've been listening to it nonstop since. It is amazing. My favorite songs are Contaminated, Gimme, Stroke, Look What You're Doing to Me, which I wasn't sure I liked when it first came out. I think that was her second single, and it was so different from Gimme. I was like, I don't think I like this. But the more I listened to it, like the more I just thought it was amazing and like the best song ever. So I still love that song. Propaganda, so good. And The Fall. Those are my favorite songs off the album, but I do love the entire album, but those particular ones like just speak to me and I really love them. I'm gonna mention Lana next, but I actually like Banks's new album more than I like Lana's new album, and that has never happened to me before. Like usually Lana is my favorite, like I love everything by Lana Del Rey, but her recent album is just kind of boring to me. I don't know, but like I still love it obviously, but Banks's album is just amazing, and I've been listening to it more than I've been listening to Lana's new album, which is just not normal for me. If you've been listening to Banks's new album 3, let me know what your favorite song on the album is. I also really do like Alaska. I think that's a really interesting song. But yeah, I love that album. I'm obsessed with it. And then obviously the next album I'm going to talk about is Norman fucking Rockwell, which I was very excited for, but I feel like there's not as many. I feel like with each album that Lana puts out, there's not many that are like very fun. Does that make sense? Like a lot of them are very slow, nothing super upbeat, but I guess like her first album is so different from the rest of her music. Like if you listen to her stuff now and you listen to Born to Die, like it's so different, but still like Lana, if that makes sense. Anyways, I still really like this album. It's not my favorite album of Lana's. Born to Die is definitely my favorite. Then Paradise, then Ultraviolence, then Honeymoon, and then Lust for Life, and then Norman fucking Rockwell. Yeah, her last 2 albums haven't been my favorite. I mean, I've still loved them, obviously, but they're not my favorite. But my favorite songs on this album are Cinnamon Girl. I love Cinnamon Girl. It reminds me so much of Ultraviolence. Just like the same lyrical metaphors, if that makes sense. I just really love Cinnamon Girl. I think it's fantastic. Then Fuck It, I Love You, The Greatest, Mariner's Apartment Complex, Hope is a Dangerous Thing for a Woman Like Me to Have, but I have it. And sadly, I think those are like my favorite songs off the album. The rest are like good, but they're not my favorite, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me know what you think of Lana's new album. Which song is your favorite off of it? I feel like my least favorite song on the album is Bartender. I don't really like that one. Yeah, I just feel like they're not super upbeat. Like, they're all slow, which like I love, but like also I want something a little more upbeat, you know? So that's it for all the new music that I've been listening to. If you guys have any recommendations for new music that I should check out, or just music that you guys have been listening to, let me know. Now onto podcasts. I have 2 podcasts that I've been listening to. The first one is the Tiny Meat Gang. I knew of Cody Ko before. I knew him when he had his own podcast, was like, I think it was like Insanely Chill or something like that. And I actually listened to that one. I don't know if he still does it. I don't think so. I actually can't remember how I started listening to their podcast. I'm trying to remember. I think it was around the whole Jake Paul and Cody Ko situation that happened. That might have been around the time. If you're not familiar with Cody Ko, he is a YouTuber, comedian, and he has a podcast with Noel Miller, who's also a YouTuber and comedian, and the podcast is just basically where they like talk about shit, and it's really funny. I've kind of watched their YouTube stuff off and on, but I prefer their podcast, just where they talk about whatever. And yeah, I think it's fun. Again, I like to listen to podcasts that it's more like personality based, and like, I mean, I guess I like to listen to YouTubers podcasts where they just talk about stuff. I just find it more interesting, and I don't necessarily like educational podcasts. I don't know, it's not really my thing. So I've been listening to their podcasts. I've been really liking it. And another one is Zane and Heath Unfiltered, which just started. I think they have 5 episodes or 6 episodes, and I love Zane and Heath. If you didn't know, they are YouTubers. They're best friends. They made a podcast. It's super funny. Yeah, I've been loving their podcast too. Again, they just talk about random stuff, and I love them as YouTubers, so like them doing a podcast is just great. It's just like, you know, you get more of them. So yeah, that is kind of it for all of the podcasts and the music that I've been listening to recently. Again, I'll link my first video down below. I'm still listening to the podcasts that I mentioned in that video, except for a couple of issues because they broke up and they no longer have a podcast together, but the rest I have been still listening to. And same with the music. I've been kind of listening to the same music still off and on, but yeah, this is all kind of the recent stuff that I've been listening to. Let me know what you've been listening to recently, and if you have any recommendations for me, go ahead and leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!